Hi, I'm John McNeil. I want to talk about what is life on life terms? What does it mean to you? Is life on life terms because you want to be successful financially, not having to worry about living paycheck to paycheck? And there's for some of you who don't have a paycheck, but you're trying to find a way to live better. What is life on life terms? Are you striving to have love or establish love in your life because you're lonely and it's something that you desired and you're trying to deal with another human being to establish that? What is life on life terms? Are you dealing with consequences from choices and decisions you made where it's causing you to be so frustrated, or it's paralyzing you with fear? Even with many of us, we have great intentions, but sometimes good intentions still doesn't pan out to right outcomes. What is life on life terms to you? Is it because you're already successful financially, and there's still a lot missing in you? What is life on life terms? This is what I want to discuss. Life on life terms is not just a fancy statement that comes out of human beings' mouth. It is an acknowledgement that life on life terms comes as it may. When you wake up, you start your day. Some people believe in goals. Some people believe in just establishing and doing what is necessary in their day. My point of mentioning this is I hope to reach someone and get your mind rolling, get your heart to actually pay attention, get your spirit to become aware. How are you dealing with life on life terms? Because life on life terms may not always be fair. I know from the impact of uncomfortable or unwanted situations, it tends to hurt me, or it tends to frustrate me, or it tends to derail me, or it paralyzes or stagnates my ability to move forward. It is not always wanted to have to deal with unwanted circumstances and situations. And I find out I can only get through these situations, majorly once they absorb in me from the impact, no matter what they may be. Grieving loss of a loved one, it could be not enough money, no matter how much I go to work and my attendance is good, my job is good, and I do what I can to earn my wages, but at the same time, it just seems like life just still will give me consequences or challenges that can cause me to use my thinking that isn't going to be beneficial to get through this and be on the right side of it. Many of us mean well, but the ability to deal with life on life terms comes from our thinking. It comes from our intelligence. It comes from what's in our heart. And can you establish a boundary, a balance that gives you like an even kill or even status for even temporary moments in your life, especially in a day? But life on life terms is challenging. If you don't have good information when you are applying yourself to whatever it may be, you're pretty much probably going to get swallowed up. I know there's an American dream or element that's been established, go grow up, get an education, go to school, get a degree, then establish, a business, or, becoming employable because you've done everything and you accomplish, income that is sufficient to be able to maintain. You get married, have a family, and no disrespect, even the white picket fence. Sometimes that's an illusion for many of us. I personally never had that opportunity. It was stolen from me. And I ran across a lot of people who always tried to make it out, oh, it was your choices. Maybe some things that happened to me in life wasn't of my choice. But being so I'm living life, I had to make choices to deal with, we call it the hand we were dealt with. The hand we were dealt with doesn't always mean that all my decisions are going to be adequate or in agreement to other people watching or receiving any of the information or my decisions that I make. But at the same time, I have to find a way out of the illusion and find some contentment within my character as well as my being as long as I'm alive. Because how about if you get hit with health issues? And no one plans to get hit with health issues, but at the same time, it's a reality, and it could set you back. It could stagnate you. It could create a whole lot of interference, unwanted interference, because now everything else that meant something takes a back seat, because if you don't have health or good health, especially when it's life-threatening ones, none of that matters, because you're pretty much trying to do what we call stay alive. Life on life terms will give you these type of scenarios, or excuse me, these type of situations and their circumstances, and they're real. But at the same time, what can you do to improve? There's a lot of information. They always tell me, hey, improve your knowledge. The more knowledge, the better you are. Yes, knowledge is important. But at the same time, how do I walk through and not become a robot? Or how do I walk through and not purposely sabotage my life? Reality is this. The life on life terms comes with the law. You break the law, you're incarcerated, or you're being sued because people want money, things like that. Finding that balance is not always easy. And again, I wanted to give this information because this is where my heart is. There are many of us that mean well, many of us that strive to do well, but we just seem to get out of, if you don't mind, the well. Even when someone is pulling us up, there's always a motive for why they're pulling us up. Are they pulling us up because they really truly have compassion in their heart? Or are they pulling us up because, look at me, y'all, I'm pulling John out of the well? But at the same time, I just hope that the individual that is trying to deal with life on life terms is finding that freedom that I spoke about earlier. And that's the emotional balance. That means, a moment where everything is going well, a moment where you appreciate life. I'm a believer throughout all this stuff. If I lose my spirit, if my spirit becomes entirely broken, then maybe I'll become hopeless again. I can't afford to do that. I tell you that striving to purchase a home, or striving to increase my income, or whatever it may be to give me satisfaction and a part of my happiness, it's really nice, but I still need to hold on to what is inside that has given me the ability to be better. I know how to survive. Now I'm trying to accomplish or establish to learn how to live, because I am not in one that controls the entities or the powers that be, but I have some say so over me. And I'm not stressing for anyone to try to be perfect, including myself. But I must find a way to not fall short or stay in the falling short. And that means, if you fail, then you get up. But at the same time, I don't want to be lost. I don't want to be a prisoner again of the manner of not having self-esteem and self-worth, and believing I'm just as equal as someone who is financially well off, because I'm a human being striving to mature with maturity to be better. Who are you? What are you striving to do? Substance abuse, physical abuse, verbal abuse. How about just doubt and self? Again, life on life terms comes in many forms. It is up to you as an individual to figure out, what are you striving to do? If you are someone that's hustling, doing the things that come along with giving you means to stay with a home over your head, or providing for yourself and those who are important for you, you put yourself at risk. Don't think I don't understand, but at the same time, the consequences makes you be able to, or makes you or takes you away from all that you were doing it for the beginning. But at the same time, I've seen many people, we call it blue collar stuff, where they look like they're doing well, but behind the doors or underneath the, the closet as we speak, they're doing just the same as someone who's selling drugs and all those other illegal things. Life on life terms is very, very, very challenging. I have a recipe that has put me in position to be even in front of you guys, or even have the life that I've established. Is this life I've established, without blemishes and challenges? No. But at the same time, I cannot lay down in them. I do my best to improve from them, and I do my best to guard up, because I gave a video about haters are necessary, and I give information about perspective. At the same time, I need to keep putting forth effort to do the best that I can with this thing called life on life term. I want to be happy. I want to be joyful. but I also want to be free. I don't want to be enslaved by my own mentality or my own thinking. I know that life on life terms sends us trauma. Trauma is not something that is done just because you talk about it. It's a healing process that must occur. All these things that I'm describing in this video is my intentions to get your mind awake, or get you to look at where you're going in your life. Are you utilizing information that is very impactful, that gives you success with dealing with this thing called life on life terms? Maybe your children aren't doing what you want them to do on the basis of keeping themselves free from repeating some of your downfalls or your mistakes. It is a very challenging thing to be a parent, especially in this day and time. I'm a believer of trying to break generational curses, through my history of growing up and watching the men in my family and learning about them. A lot of us meant well, we just weren't successful in the manner of being able to pass on the torch in a good way. I hope someone gets something out of this video. Again, my intentions is to reach the heart, the mind, and the soul. I want you to realize life on life term doesn't have to defeat you, and you no longer have to be in the business of defeating yourself. Please give yourself an opportunity. And again, if you find those moments where you're evenly balanced, enjoy them. If you find happiness is going on in your life, embrace it. If you find that you're going through drama and sadness and it's painful, find solutions that will aid you to get through it. And when it's past, you take it as experience. That's what wisdom does. Wisdom equips you to do your best not to repeat it once you're out of it. Whatever the case may be, I hope that you don't fold to this thing called life on life terms. My name is John McNeil. Helping other people evolve is what I do. Tune in to the next video. Thank you.